Kevin was stopped at a red light on Sunrise Highway, fully stopped, seatbelt on, engine on, waiting. The car behind him never slowed down. He survived. Whiplash, back injury, weeks out of work. Open and shut case, right? Here's what the insurance adjuster told him on the first call. Oh, we need to explore whether you stopped short. I've watched insurance companies run that line on rear-ended car accident cases across Long Island for 30 years. I'm going to break down exactly how they build a fault case against victims and what a recorded statement can do to your case before it ever gets started. Let's start with something most people don't understand about New York law. New York is a comparative negligence state. That means fault is never automatically all on one side. Under New York's pure comparative negligence rule, both drivers can be assigned a percentage of fault, and your recovery is reduced by your share. If you're found 10% at fault, your settlement is reduced by 10%. If you're found 50% at fault, your recovery is cut in half. Now, in a rear-end collision, the driver who hit you has a strong presumption of negligence under New York law. If you're stopped or slowing properly and someone drives into your vehicle, that driver has to explain how the crash wasn't their fault. But here's the thing, insurance companies know this system. They exploit it. The stopped short argument. The first thing many insurance adjusters do after a rear-end accident is call the injured driver. They're friendly, they want to help, they just have a few questions. And somewhere in those questions, were you able to see the vehicle behind you? Were you braking for any reason before impact? Had there been any sudden stops in the traffic ahead of you? They're building a stopped short argument. If they can establish or even suggest that you braked suddenly and the driver behind had no reasonable time to stop, they start chipping away at that fault presumption. This is Long Island traffic. The Long Island Expressway at 4:30 in the afternoon isn't a mystery. Traffic stops, traffic slows every single day. That's not stop short. That's normal driving conditions. But the insurance companies are trained to plant doubt, and a recorded statement gives them the material to work with. Never give a recorded statement without a lawyer. This is the most important thing I can tell you. The adjuster for the other driver is not neutral. They're not your friend. They work to minimize what their insurer pays. That is their job. A recorded statement, even one that sounds completely innocent, can be clipped, taken out of context, and used to argue contributory fault. Something as simple as, I saw the brake lights but couldn't tell how fast they were stopping, becomes evidence against you. You have no legal obligation to give the other driver's insurance company a statement. Don't do it. The pre-existing condition play. You had a back injury 3 years ago, an old car accident, physical therapy, all that stuff. Insurance found it. They always find it. Now, they're arguing that your current neck and back complaints aren't from this crash, they're from the prior injury. That this crash just aggravated a pre-existing condition, and aggravation damages are worth less than new injury damages. In New York, you can recover for aggravation of a pre-existing condition, but insurance will use that prior history to minimize the payout. You need medical records that clearly document the change, what your baseline was before this crash and how it changed after. This is why treatment needs to start immediately, not 2 weeks later, not a month later. Gaps in treatment are the other tool insurance uses against you. Here's a question, and I want real answers in the comments. Have you ever been asked for a recorded statement after an accident? Did you give it? I want to know how many people walked into that trap without realizing it. The gap in treatment argument. You stopped treating after the initial ER visit. You felt better. You went back to work. 6 weeks later, the pain came back. You started chiropractic. Insurance is going to argue that the gap proves you weren't seriously injured, that your current condition isn't from the crash, that you're treating now for unrelated reasons. Courts have addressed this. Gaps in treatment don't automatically destroy a case, but they create a narrative problem, and narratives matter. If you're hurt, treat consistently. If you need to stop for a legitimate reason, document it. Tell your doctor why and get it in your chart, what the numbers actually mean. Say your case is worth $200,000. A jury finds you 10% at fault for stop-and-go traffic. You walk away with $180,000 instead of $200,000. Now, say insurance successfully argues that you're 30% at fault. You walk away with $140,000. The difference between good lawyering and no lawyering on one rear-end case on the Long Island Expressway can be tens of thousands of dollars. This ties directly into what insurance companies are trained to do from the moment a claim is filed. Their entire playbook is about finding ways to reduce their payout. We cover that in depth in another video on insurance tactics in this series. What to do immediately after a rear-end accident on Long Island. Get a police report every time, even if you think it's minor. Photograph the scene, your car, their car, the road, the positions. Get medical attention the same day, ER or urgent care. Don't wait to see if you feel better. Do not call the other driver's insurance. Do not give a recorded statement. Call a lawyer before you talk to anyone. The earlier we're involved, the more we can protect the evidence that matters. The cases that go sideways, they're the ones where the injured person tried to handle it alone and gave insurance the ammunition to fight back. If you just got rear-ended, the insurance company is already lining up moves against you. Go watch the video on 7 insurance company tricks that kill your car accident claim. You'll see exactly how they turn a clear fault case into a fight over your recovery. That's the one to watch next. Cohen and Jaffe handles cases across New York and Long Island. Contact information is in the description. Subscribe and answer this in the comments. Have you ever been blamed for a crash that wasn't your fault?